So we're going to start out in a seated position on your mat right here with your knees up. So what we're going to do is we're going to work to take one knee and we're going to actively drop that as far down to the side as you can. Bring it back up and we'll alternate to the other side. So what I want you to try to do is keep your whole body nice and stiff. All right, not moving anything but just working on the mobility of your hip. Working to drop that knee down. Just alternating sides. Try to hold on to the bottom for just a second. Should feel kind of your glute activating a bit. And our goal is to try to put or get that knee closer and closer to the ground each and every rep. So again, your torso is going to stay pretty much in the same spot the whole time. So we're going to go 1 or 2 more each way. We'll start off a little bit nice and easy. All right, and this one we're going to take both knees and go simultaneously working to drop both knees. You can do whatever you want to with your hands. If you need to kind of settle back for support, if you just want to hold up here working on that posture a little bit more, you can. The only thing I don't want you to do with your hands is to push down on your knees. So sitting up nice and tall, just working our external rotation of our hips both simultaneously. All right. So we're going to pull those feet in a little bit closer. We're going to hang out in that butterfly pose. Now we're going to try to, we're going to use our hands now grabbing your ankles or your toes, and you kind of have something to pull against as you push those knees down. All right, so this one is going to be a little bit more active. So you're pulling up on your ankles or your toes while you push down with your knees, just as we were doing before. Putting effort by squeezing those glutes, trying to pull those knees as close to the ground as possible, and go ahead and relax. We're going to do a couple more, both going together. And then next one, when you get down, we're going to go back to that active butterfly, pulling up on those feet, pushing down on those knees. Again, just working the external rotation, opening those hips up, getting away from that seated position, seated in a chair at least. I'm going to do a couple more. We're going to do one last time. And when you get down, one more time, pushing those knees down, pulling up on those feet. I'm going to hold this one a little bit longer. Again, you should feel a bit more open on these. It's kind of a good way to measure yourself if you're going through these exercises and it feels just the same as when you started. You may need to kind of take a look at the what exactly we're doing, because you should open up even if just a little bit as you go through. So we're going to transition into our ever so favorite 90-90 position. So if you take a look, front knees at 90, back knees at 90. Angles are both at 90 degrees as well. So my right knee is out in front right now, if you just want to stay for the call outs. So what we're going to do is going to work to push that chest out past that knee. So we should get, you can use your hands now for support if you need to. You should feel glute stretch on that right glute, pulling through maybe a little higher in that low back into the hip as well. And that's what we're looking for there. And go ahead and ease up out of that. Same deal, moving that chest out over that knee, trying to sink in a little bit lower, and relax. You should try to focus on keeping your chest up. I know sometimes we're going to want to kind of cave down into that knee. That's not really going to get us the stretch through that back hip as we're looking for. That's going to just be kind of the middle of your back. So we're working on those hips primarily, so push that chest out and reach out over that knee with that chest. Last one on this one, and relax. Then we're going to kind of take this a step up. We're going to do a little bit of a rotation. So we're going to kind of reach that chest out just as we were. And then we're going to kind of scan across that front leg and kind of finish up with a little bit of rotation here. So your chest is kind of pointing out over your left knee. All right. We'll return it back to the front. We're going to do 3 times on that. Reach that chest out. Reach as far as you can and kind of slide across that front shin. and pulling up. You want to keep that chest as low to the ground as possible as you go through. Again, use those hands if you need to. So you should definitely feel this through that hip. And obviously listen to your body if that's a little bit too far. Don't go as far. One more time on this one. Reaching that chest out. Sliding across, nice and easy. And back to relax. All right, go ahead and keep in that same position. Plant that right hand out with that left hand. We're going to reach underneath for that thread the needle 90-90 stretch. So we're going to hold this about 10-15 seconds. And go ahead and relax out of that. I'm going to go one more time. Reaching down through with the hold. That left hand that you're reaching, if you want to actively kind of crawl that back to kind of get a little extra distance on that, that's fine. So we're going to do that again, this time without the hold. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach, hold that for just a second, and when you pull back, I want you to think about kind of pulling something through that, like you're pulling a weight or you're pulling a suitcase or something, and you're pulling that and squeezing those shoulder blades back together. Over accentuate those shoulder blades, squeeze them together, very active in that left hand, and relax. So we're going to do that a few times, reaching underneath, pulling open. Good. I'm going to do that a couple more times, reaching, and pull. Active in that upper back, one more time, big reach, and pulling through, create that tension in that upper back, and relax. All right, we're going to flip it over, and we'll do all that on the other side. So 90-90, checking that left knee is 90, that right knee is 90 degrees, both ankles are 90. So we're going to start with that reach of the chest, so pushing that chest out over that front knee, should feel that in the left glute. So we're going to hold here for just a few seconds and relax. Again, you can use those hands down if you need to, pulling yourself down. Again, it should be a very gentle easing of the way down. All right, don't force yourself. As those hips start to unlock and loosen up, it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of move through. So we're putting motion into this. Again, to keep that kind of dynamic fluidity of those hips. Good, relax. We'll go one more time. Reaching that chest out and forward. Again, a lot of times we're very static sitting in a chair all day. So we're going to kind of put some motion into your day, even through our stretching. All right. So now we're going to do that kind of scan and rotate. So we're going to kind of move ourselves out over that front knee. We're going to try to stay low across that front shin, going from knee to ankle and rotating up. All right, we're going to do that a few times. Reaching that chest out. Remember, reach forward, not down. And this side is definitely quite a bit easier for me. Now the left hip is a lot more open than my right one, which is fine. Just need to focus on stretching that weak side, that tight side, a little bit extra. So we're going to finish this one. We're going to go 2 more times on this side. Reaching that chest forward, scanning down, try to stay low, stay low, stay low, and pull it up. Making sure we're finishing again over that back knee. And one last time. Scanning that all the way across, big reach, still keeping reaching forward. And relax. All right, so we're playing that left hand, that right hand. We're going to reach, thread the needle. This one we're just going to reach and hold. Might get a few cracks in the back there, which is totally fine. Might feel a little good. That's the goal, make you feel good. Go ahead and relax out of that. Take a breath, unwind yourself. We're going to go one more time. Reach and hold. Again, goal here is the twist. That should be your focus. Trying to get that right arm as far underneath as possible. And go ahead and relax. All right, so we're going to redo that reach and pull this time. So go ahead and reach under. Hold that for just a second. And create tension with that back. pulling through. So notice here I have a long neck. All right, I'm not pulling up like this. All right, keep those shoulder blades down and really extend that head, extend that neck. So big reach under and creating tension to pull through. All right, squeeze those shoulder blades together at the top and relax, reaching through and pulling. So you should be feeling that reach getting a little bit farther each time. And pulling through, nice and tight. We're going to do one last time. Reaching underneath. And pulling through. Big squeeze last time. Long neck. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. All right, we're going to do a little bit of shoulder mobility. So we're going to bring that up to hands and knees. Excuse me. So hands and knees. I'm going to start with my left hand. I'm going to bring my left hand with my palm up. I'm just going to slide that across just like that thread the needle we did. And we're going to drop that left shoulder to the mat. All right, so your hips are high. Your left arm is through to the right side. Might feel a little bit of blood rushing to your head. That's fine. So we're going to hang out here for just a second. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in that shoulder. We're going to work to maximize that in just a second. So I kind of want you to just get a feel of this position. So that left hand, I want you to turn that hand over to where your palm is now facing the ground. So you should feel a little bit of extra twist in the shoulder. And to push a little bit deeper into that, we're going to push those hips, drop those hips back towards your heels. And you should feel that a little bit deeper through the back of the shoulder, maybe into your lats a little bit. It's not going to be a very dramatic sit back. We're just kind of shifting that weight. That hand placement should stay where it is. So we're creating length by kind of pulling at each end of the muscles here. I'm going to go ahead and roll that hand back over, shift your weight forward, and pull that arm out. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So your right hand, palm up, is going to go through. Nice and easy. So again, I am putting a little bit of weight into that right shoulder. Majority of my weight is on my knees and my hand. And my left hand, sorry. So go ahead and take that right hand that's threaded. We're going to rotate that over to palm is on the ground. Nothing else is changing. Then go ahead and sit those hips back just a little bit until you feel that tension through the back of the right shoulder. Try to really push that palm into the ground if you can. And we're going to roll that back forward and pull that hand out. We're going to go one more time on each side. Left hand, palm up, going through. Should feel a little bit more loose second time through. Go ahead and roll that palm over. And sit those hips back. It was a lot better already. So remember, try to loosen up. Try not to hold the tension. Don't fight the movement. Just try to relax. Just remember, your only anchor points here is the palm. So you can push that palm into the ground and push those hips away, trying to extend through that shoulder. Go ahead and relax. Pull that through. And one more time with that right hand going through, palm up. Then roll that palm over. So palm is facing down. And we'll sit those hips back. And roll that back and pull that through. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. First time Unravel. If you're hanging Unravel, do some full body blasts in about 5 minutes. So if you're hanging around, you will need a chair. We're gonna do a little bit with the chair there. But yep, grab your towel, your water bottle, your shoes, a chair if you have it, one without wheels, and we'll see.